And now, for your listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip or Critical, with your guides, Al3xa, MKE, and Shock the MoKE, where we praise, vent on all things that in the end really don't matter. We were out of music and I'm the town crier. That's what we have today. And that's gone. All
There
right.
we go. Yeah. Sorry everybody.
Al3xa.
We're like brushing the cobwebs off. We are back. COVID craziness. Pardon the glasses. I can't see a damn thing without them. So yeah, this is our masked episode.
Well, we're practicing social distancing, so I think we can take them off for this. Even though my monitor's 6 feet away, not less than 6 feet away, I believe you're more than 6 feet away.
But I have so many of these.
Hey, if anytime you want
Dave, don't drink on air. I have so many of these.
If you want to strip off anything while we're during the show and put something else on, you're certainly welcome to strip during the show.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the only thing I'm stripping off is different masks. Anyway.
Those all look very nice.
I made them.
Ah.
All right, so we've got tons of crazy to talk about.
All right, we'll start it up. First of all, nice to see you again, Al3xa. It's been a long time. You're all live, and that's great.
Yeah, we are live. Hang on, I gotta do something with my hair here. It's driving me crazy. All righty, so we've had a little bit of a pandemic going on.
Hey, well, there's something going on? What's happening?
Little something.
All right, and which we definitely will get into because this is why we want to get back out here and do this. But let's talk about what we've been doing during this thing a little bit. We all know that we've been sheltered in place, which has been a great time for entertainment. And what we found out is that once everybody's in and we triple the use of or quadruple or 10 times more internet, hey, it's still out there. So don't ever let them tell you there's not enough internet out there.
There's not only is there enough internet, there's enough content, which is why we really don't need to be doing this, but we're doing it anyway because we're just a bunch of karma whores. So it's all good.
Exactly. So what have you been watching during the lockdown? What have you been doing?
Well, during the lockdown, we've been watching a bunch of different things. I know that you were watching The Boys. I watched The Boys. It's awesome. You just started watching it. Did you watch more last night? I'm
done, of course. It took me 3 days, which is longer than I thought it would take me to watch them all. Yeah, I never thought that someone could talk to me about how a dolphin getting run over by a semi was a really funny scene, and it's kind of hard to explain it to other people if they haven't seen it.
Well, I know, and I'm vegan, so I would say that scene would be very disturbing if I knew it wasn't just a joke. Yes. But it really is funny because these are like superheroes that are just that they're not even just a little bit creepy. Some of them are very, very creepy, and there's some very, very creepy things that go on if you allow superheroes to kind of take things.
I think it's the
next level.
I think it's a direct correlation to athletes. It's like a baseball team, the best baseball team business wise, and all the personalities you'd find on a baseball team with a bunch of people who think they're heroes, the best stealer, the guy who hits the best, you got each, but you still have each one of their insecurities behind them as well. Which is great, which is just fantastic.
Oh my God, it was just such a good show. If you haven't seen it, it came out last year. It's really
on Prime, which again, oh my gosh, all the different the things we've got out there. Netflix now, the Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, CBS, BBC's launching, all HBO on the go. Boy, wouldn't it be great if someone could just take the best of each one of those and put it all together for like one? Oh, yeah, that's what cable is.
Right? I mean, okay. Yeah, and that's the thing is like we went and we split up cable and now we got all these streams. But the thing is it's still cheaper for me to do it that way than it was paying almost $200 and some a month for internet and cable. It was like, and they won't deal. So guess what? This is what we get. So the one thing I watched recently was Extraction, which has, what's his name in it? My
Helm,
brain.
isn't that the Helmsworth one?
Yes, Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
Yes. Which
It's
one?
it's
Is it the Thor or his brother? The other
no,
one.
no, it's Chris. It's Thor. But it's like it's an action adventure, and it's actually really good for a you know. I don't know if I would have paid a lot of money. It would have been like either a matinee or a wait for it to come to Netflix
Sure.
film. But for a premium Netflix film, it was actually really well done. I was super happy watching it. Lot of action, pretty good story, moved forward really quickly. You didn't have this, you know, sometimes you see these movies and they do like this tedious world building and character development. It's like, no, 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 no. This just got right into it. So it was a lot of fun.
Which we sometimes like. I say, well, I like how they developed all the characters. It's a long and a long. When you're watching a Tarantino film, it's about one room and conversation. That's all it is.
Yeah,
But
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
yeah, right. Or even Inglorious Bastards down in the little bar where they're doing the how you do how you say the three
Yeah, yeah,
the difference between that
yeah, yeah.
Disney Plus I picked up on that, got that free because of the Verizon, but after I was done watching The Mandalorian, which was freaking awesome, with the Baby Yoda everybody's got,
I thought Mandalorian was good because it expands the universe. I didn't think it was like blow me away good. And I didn't watch it until this either because then we were kind of out of stuff, and then I picked up Disney Plus for free for a week and we watched it, and I'm keeping it for a little bit because there's some other stuff coming out that I want to see. And then of course we watched Marvel movies.
Well, I've seen all of those. See, that's why Disney to me is like, because I was just such a fan of all the Avengers movies, all the Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? I've seen them all over and over and over. They give me nothing new. But man, I'm on this Prime now, it's Amazon Prime, and there's shows that I have not, that I've been waiting to see again, are popping up right and left for me, and I'm just so beautiful in there. Like My Dead Like Me, and I think Justified's in there, and I don't know. I was finding some others. That's where Chuck went, which I got into that a little bit back in the day. Who Shazam?
That's
He's back,
awesome.
but it's Shazam.
Yeah.
Shazam was a good
Did you
movie.
did you get to see any of Man in the High Castle? Because we only watched
No,
season one of that.
I saw that on there, and I
It's
heard
very
about.
good.
Got to go with that. But
Yeah, we got to finish that.
this goes back to all these things now that I watched. Santa Clara Diet. Well, that's had 3 seasons, but the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, my boy, my boy. Here
yeah,
we gotta do show and tell.
I love that.
Gerard
I think
Way.
that was, yeah, but yeah, but one season shows this is getting the boys like it is. I guess just like, oh, one season, one season, one season.
No, I
That's
think
why
the boys is coming back.
well, I understand, but right now you want a taste of it. You get into
Oh,
something
you're feeling like it's a drug dealer.
right, man. I mean, I picked up Van Helsing on Netflix and went or watched all those because they had 3 seasons to them, and even that I wanted them. And hey, the other thing with Amazon Prime started getting back into The Expanse is on there.
Oh yeah, Expanse is amazing. We've been watching that as it comes up.
We've
So,
been watching
yeah.
that. Well, I lost Dark Matter, and now here we are. And I thought I lost Expanse, but I wish Dark Matter would have come back too. But now I lost Expanse, but now I got my Expanse back, so I was watching a little of that again last night.
I had to take these glasses off. Sorry, people.
You're stripping again, aren't you?
Yes, I am taking it off.
All right, you got some other things. You had Project Runway in there.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of this is my thing. This is not Dave's thing. Dave doesn't watch any of this, but it's Project Runway, which has Christian Siriano. You have Next in Fashion, which has Tan from Queer Eye, and then you have Making the Cut, which is Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn are back. And you would think that Making the Cut would win because they got all that sweet, sweet Amazon Prime money. No, it actually was very disappointing. It was clear after a while that show was about the mass manufacturing, and they were like, oh, we want the next global brand. Well, they were looking for somebody that they could, do fast fashion with. So they could manufacture it and throw it on Amazon Prime, and you could buy
This is a
it.
boy band. This is like a boy band version.
Almost. And the thing is Heidi was so annoying, and I didn't mind Heidi. In fact, we were all bummed out. Heidi and Tim left Project Runway to do this project, because she wanted to spread her wings. I think this was a money grab, and I know there's people who are going to disagree with me, but there's a lot of people who don't. Because social media has been kind of talking about it. Like Heidi's boobs were like front and center, and not in a good way. There was a scene where Tim.
You mean they're both on top of each other?
There was one
Who's
dress
the
she
heck?
wore
That
at
wouldn't
the
be right
end.
either. One
There was,
booth was a front and center. Those
yeah,
two, that would look weird.
it was bizarro. And then there was one scene where she did like the can at the Moulin Rouge, and it was awful. I mean, it was just about, oh, I'm still, I'm still a beautiful supermodel. And then the one that was really cringy was, I guess Tim does fencing and has been doing it for a while. Well, Heidi had to win. Oh, I won. It was like, okay, I'm over it. But next in fashion with Tan from I forget his last name, Tan France, I believe it is, from Queer Eye, was absolutely amazing. It blew Project Runway away, and I still love Project Runway, but it was really, really good. So out of the 3 fashion shows, Next in Fashion is now my new favorite. So there's that.
I gotcha. A little switch there going. All right. Well, we also we lost some shows too. I mean, man, my elementary is gone. That was great. Big Bang went out. Gotham, iZombie, Mr. Robot. I don't know. Did you watch Mr. Robot, or was I just telling
I
you about
watched
that?
Mr. Robot. We have not watched the last season.
Oh
I was
my
trying to
God.
stay away from stuff that was a little too dark.
Uh,
Um,
during this time, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we're gonna watch it, but don't spoil it
Uh,
for me. But yeah, Mr. Robot is like primo.
Yeah, Legion was a short run, and I liked that. The Preacher is over, but now so I lost some of my shows, and I'm pretty kind of mad about some of those. So, but now that I've got the Hulu going, I guess I'm better now because between Netflix and Hulu, you really do get a lot of new content that people like. I mean, critics seem to like a lot of their stuff on both sides of the aisle there. Have you seen or anything the CBS the Star Trek Picard ones
I'm
or?
not picking up another streaming service. But I was never a huge Star Trek fan except for the
Uh,
originals, and so and I love the Star Trek universe. It's just that there's again so much to explore that it gets to be a bit too much. Did you watch The Witcher with Henry
yes,
Cavill?
yes, yes. Toss a coin to the Witcher, man.
Oh my God, that was so fun. That was so fun.
I don't know what to make of that show, but it is entertaining. It is entertaining and fun. I will give it that.
Okay, so the other thing I've been doing during this is eating. I don't know about
Oh,
you.
jeez. Yeah, try not to, right? Well, I get to, work. We get to work, and which has been great. More or less, we've been able to get to work. I have, which has been good. But what have you making? What have you been eating?
Okay, well, I was off for 5 weeks. I work for Penzies, and so you have to be a foodie if you're working for Penzies, not necessarily.
That's
I
for
am a
sure.
Spice Girl.
I'm a friend of Bill. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
Spice Girl, like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bill is amazing. I love his politics, but we're not going to go into that. But I have been cooking, so I made pretzels from scratch. That was fun. My husband's been making pizza, and of course, anything vegan that we can make, we've been making. How about you? Have you been cooking, or have you been doing curbside?
Well, we do a little of each, I mean, we're trying to support the local, and so, I've been hitting some food trucks, and the Palace down here by us has got a good fish fry and takeout, and so we've been trying to do, trying to keep some of that $1,200 we got from the government back into the economy and the little people and such like that, but other than that. I did a little shish kebabbing. The girlfriend got a new smoker, so we were playing with that, for the last couple months, and trying some brisket and stuff like that. So
All the
it's
stuff I won't eat.
yes, exactly. Oh, we put some asparagus on there. It
Ooh,
just
now
as
that I
well.
would eat. Yeah.
Yes, that was very good. So I'll throw that in there for you as well.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I've been doing we've done it 4 times. Celesta has become our new go-to. They're a vegan restaurant over on Farwell, off of Lafayette. And we're like, okay, it's our anniversary. We can't go out. And that was back in April. So we picked up some Celesta. And it was like, oh my God, it's so good. And they do drinks packaged carry out. So you get 3 splits of champagne and 3 different juices. So for people who like a little bit of liquid libation, they're offering that. Normally I'm not a drinker, but it was a special occasion.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, and they do a fishless fry, so we tried that. That was okay. It wasn't my favorite because it's like a fried tofu, and
oh, yeah.
they use
Don't tell me it was fried tofu.
no, it's great. They put nori in the batter to make it taste a little bit more fishy. Their
What
tartar
what
sauce was
what
amazing.
what They put what in the batter?
Nori. So that's a seaweed. So that's in sushi. You know, the green edge
Uh-huh.
on sushi, that's nori.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And then we've done it a couple more times. And then this last time we got a whole pan of their lasagna because their lasagna is amazing. And you can get a whole pan of it for $60. It's like, they're like, oh, it's 6 to 8 servings. No, it's more like 8 to 12 servings. It's a massive pan. And they give
Yeah,
you a quart of
right. They
sauce.
almost need the forklift to bring it out.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, pretty
Yep.
much. You need the forklift to bring it out. But yeah, and then we've been doing urban beets and then pizza a couple times. Urban beets is my favorite, but I get the same thing every time. So
Yeah, it's like when I go to Conejito's. The last 20 years, it's the same thing: two steak and bean tacos, two tostadas, and a side of rice. That's me, Which I
yeah,
don't.
gotta
I
do
don't
the Mexican too. We've been doing, at home we've been cooking a lot of Mexican. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, veggie. All right. Well, a couple things. Let's move on to fun stuff on the internet, but not the COVID fun stuff because we're still getting to that. But we did put some on our site. We do have some of Alexa's collective COVID
Oh,
memes.
did you do the memes over on the
I threw some
Facebook
on.
page?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I threw some of those on. They were
They're
good.
funny. They're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
funny.
I still the Tarantino, that's good. All right, so that was fun. Other things that we have fun is to again to keep our eyes off of what's going on with COVID. I do like that people started working on the murder hornets. Like just when we thought it was safe to go
Oh
back
yeah.
out, here
Yeah.
come the murder
Murder
hornets.
hornets. Yep.
So I did like that. Had a little fun with a Beatles poster on the internet with people because everybody's at home locked up, and even with Brandon, we did some. There's been some online poker going on.
Yep,
People
yep.
are just.
Brandon is my son-in-law and Dave's former coworker.
But the Beatles poster was fun because it was. I don't know if you've seen this. If you run across it, it's like a poster with like 30 some Beatles songs, all drawn in there. You got to pick them all out. Like there's a guy that's got a sign that says "I'm not dead," so it says
I haven't
that's for
seen
like I'm
that
only
one.
sleeping. Yeah, it's like I'm only sleeping, and I'm like, well, is that what that means for that? And they're on Abbey Road and they're fixing a hole and there's Maxwell's hammers in there. So it was fun. Everybody, chiming in, throwing songs out. That was a nice one that we had.
Yeah, that's
Now,
cool.
now remember, I did the Google. I'm a Google guide. Remember that I had those that I've been doing the photos on Google Maps.
Yeah, so
Well,
for people who might be new viewers or if you don't remember, Dave discovered that you could put photos on Google, and it would come up when people are like
searching that place.
searching. Yeah, if so some of Dave's photos are becoming famous.
Yes. Well, I actually, and I didn't know why this was happening, but my number one photo turns out to be. I'm like looking at this thing going up, like for a few months. It was the Sears outlet, and it was up to 630,000 views. And I'm like, why is the Sears outlet getting that many? It just changed.
Are you talking about the one over on State Street?
That's the one that went now is the American Freight and Appliance and Furniture now. It's a new American Freight. They just swapped it. It's
But was that the one on State
Mayfair
Street,
Road.
like 50
Mayfair
something?
Road.
Oh, Mayfair Road.
Yeah, Mayfair Road. Yep. So I was like watching that one jam up to 630,000. So anyway, my total contributions, 444 photos, 1.6 million views so far.
How many of those views are bots?
No. These are real people. No, and it's not even me. I can't go on there and do it a million times. Come on.
Oh, I'll bet you some of them are bots. Give me a break.
Yeah, I've got that all people here, my factory right here. Yeah, but even like a Barberry's Italian Inn and my U-Haul, I think the U-Haul's been up right away, went high. So people are moving, man. They're still around moving, that's for sure. So I'm one photo away from going to that next level, which we talked about. I went from 15 to 5,000 points, and I'm just at 4,999 or something like that. So.
Okay, 400 and...
Yeah, so but because nobody
Okay.
I haven't going out, haven't been taking photos. It's like look, they said had that on Facebook too or whatever. Take a look at your last non lockdown picture on your phone. What were you doing? Where were you with a bunch of people? Taking a group photo or at a
Oh,
concert.
mine are cats. It's just cats.
All right. And I was just having somebody fun this morning. One of the memes that came up was mandatory temperature screenings were required for fans attending the Foreigner reunion concert. If you're hot-blooded, they'll check and see.
Oh, jeez. Wah, wah,
So,
wah,
so,
wah.
so of course, my friend Marianne says, perhaps you're cold as ice. And I said, ooh, that sounds urgent.
You
And
guys are
she
okay,
said,
boomer.
she says, you're a jukebox hero. And I said, oh, it's getting out of hand. Better break it up. And she said, yeah, you might turn into Blue Monday. And I said, if I get double vision, it will be. For sure, she said, get that checked out. Don't be a dirty white boy. And I said, I want to go to the doctor, but it's a long, long way from home. She said, please find a way because I don't want to live without you. And I said, no. I have waited so long. It'll feel like the first time when I go to see him face to face to find out all I need to know. That's 4 songs in one sentence.
Dave,
Boom, I am out of here.
Do not quit your day job. First of all, this isn't going to make us any money, and neither is your comedy career.
That's my shtick for the day.
Okay. We'll take
all
your
right,
shtick
so
for
let's
the day.
talk about the pink virus in the room.
What? I don't know what virus you're talking about. What are you talking about? There's no virus.
There's no. This
Okay,
isn't the
so
virus
I
you're
went.
looking for. These aren't the viruses you're looking for.
Exactly. So I went to Woodman's this morning because I do my grocery shopping, and I've been going really early. And last time we went, which was, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, they had it so you came in one door, and you had to grab your cart, and you had to follow the arrows. This time they have that taken down. Now they still have the arrows, and they still have, the thing where you're supposed to wear a mask and whatever, but it's like, I don't know. Is it over? I mean, it just seems like, everybody's acting like now that, it's Memorial Day, this virus is over. Let's just open everything up. We can go to the bars. We can, get a haircut. What do you think?
Right. People are just right now. All right, I flattened your goddamn curve. Now I'm going to go out. That's really, that's what it's come down to. And I'll tell you, man, the last 2 months driving to work on Highway 100, Thanos had it right. Just a snap. Take care. Oh, we're taking 0.1% of people out of here. God, we need to take 50. This has been nice driving. The stores when I've been going into Depot, they were all nice. Nobody was there.
But Thanos wasn't picky about it. He just was random. So, Thanos was fair. Even if you think he was right, at least he was fair. But
yeah, but I can't just say snap Republicans. I can't do that.
Why not?
No, that wouldn't make me a good Democrat.
Oh, who said you're a Democrat?
I want equal people to suffer.
So yeah, let's go into this theme because a couple of the things that I had with my memes, and here we'll grab another mask because we have them.
Yes.
So people are wearing their mask like this. Because, having your nose out is helpful because that doesn't spew any droplets into the air, people. And then the rest of the people are wearing them, like this, like they're a chin mask. It's like, okay, we're not trying to protect you from a beard.
Here's your freaking mask.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, what's that about? It's not protective.
Well, and again, you're really not, you only need it if you can't practice social distancing. So, I mean, if you got to go up and talk to someone or it's in a tight area, that's when you really want it to be. And you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people. But, all these little things that I kept on going, dropping my shoulders and going, really, we got to do this, are all things that have helped keep this thing down as low as it was. What it could have been worse. When they were spraying down carts that you had to go, when they make you get in line outside, when they're limiting the amount of people that are in there, each one of those things helps us just a little bit. When I see 2 people now walking in and carrying and coming out with one can of paint and one paintbrush in each hand, the 2 people, I'm just like, listen, you just doubled the amount of people that went into the store. Twice as many.
Well, it's double exposure.
More.
It's double exposure for that household, or maybe for two households if they don't live together.
And for me,
and
now
for
there's
you.
two people in there, double the amount of people. And that's only when you take one extra person with you. Sit in the freaking car. How many times did you see the families out there with, little daughter and little Sarah and Timmy? Screw them.
It's fewer, but they're still doing it.
Listen, there's your two parents and two kids sitting there. No, one parent goes, little Timmy gets to eat the cereal you pick out. Little Susie has to drink the juice box you bring home. That's how it works.
This is why we love Dave. You go.
That's how it works. If you can't, as a society, if I can't trust you to do the little thing, which is just go into the store alone, you're never going to be trusted to do the hard things when they come along.
And we were supposed to be trusted to do the hard things because this is simple enough to go to the grocery store. There's Lito. Hi, Lito. To go to the grocery store and shop. So I've got people who are wearing their masks like that or not wearing a mask at all. Well, the reason you're wearing a mask is so you're protecting me from you. However, I have N95 filters in my masks because I don't trust people and I'm high risk. And so I bought a bunch of N95s before this started, and I gave like a bunch of them to my nurse neighbor across the street, made her a bunch of masks. Now you guys need to, do what you need to do to keep us all safe. And, you don't think you have it. Well, when you don't think you have it, you have it. And you can be asymptomatic, which means you could have it and being Typhoid Mary and spreading it, And you know how at the end we always say, oh, well, you tell two people, so they'll tell two people? Well, that's how this works. And that's why we have a pandemic, because they spread it to two or three other people and those two or three other people. And so it becomes a math problem. It becomes an algorithm and it just spreads.
And it's actually, they're talking about how it spreads more because, again, it's not like the flu where there are some herd immunities going on right now and everybody can get dropped out from a little bit. But yeah, you can walk around asymptomatic. I can have these things all over me. It's not actually doing anything to me, but will do something to you. So I'm trying to keep how many I have on me down so I don't give you more. But you got to help here. You got to help.
Exactly. So this is, now that we are starting to open up, there are people who didn't want to follow the rules, and that's fine. I don't care. At that point, you're responsible for what you do, and I can only control what I do. So I'm doing the most that I can, which means I'm going to the grocery store maybe once a week. We go do big grocery shopping every 2 weeks, and we do like produce grocery shopping once a week. Everything else we don't need. I don't need candy bars. I don't need chips. I don't need any of that.
You always feel guilty when you look at something that you don't need. Like if you reach over and touch like a rug or something, or something. Oh no, I'm not here for that. Get out of here.
You and me might feel guilty about it. Some other people don't. They just don't care. And you can tell that there are some people who just don't care. But then then I make a list of essentials, and it's like, okay, I need to go to the store to get these items because I'm out of this, or razors or shampoo or whatever, or it's a need for the house, like light bulbs, and we go and we buy all that stuff at once, and we don't go into a store otherwise. We just don't. It isn't happening. Bananas, Roger stops at Quick Trip on the way home, because we eat, bananas.
That's a good place to get the bananas too, though. It is.
Well, yeah, and it's on his way home. So.
I like some of the words we did get to pick up during all this. Fluid situation in the beginning. It's a fluid situation.
It definitely was, because you had droplets and, it got fluid, and then,
And then fluids were coming out of people once they got it.
Well, you don't want to hear about that. That's gross.
Social distancing, being fun with that. Mitigation, that word, flatten the curve. I mean, these are just things that... Pandemic. Oh, my gosh. So all of that. And again, you even mentioned it. You see a little note here. Wisconsin got their foot in the national news during this time way too often. With our bickering on how to keep it closed, with it opening and people defying it with, signs and protests. We just got on the news too much about this.
Well, my problem with it is it became political. This was never a political issue. This was a health and safety issue. This was a community issue. So when they turned it political, Governor Evers wants to push back the voting. And then, the GOP's like, we can't do that. We're going to take that to our Supreme Court, which is, mostly conservative. So of course they're going to side with the GOP, even though that wasn't the safest thing to do. And even the reasoning they used was not the law. It was like this convoluted reasoning. And then the same thing when they struck down Safer at Home, it was all convoluted reasoning. If you read their reasons why, it doesn't even make sense.
No, it's just because I didn't have any input in how it was going down. You didn't ask for my input.
Well, actually, that's not true, because he did call special sessions where these things could have been talked about, but they gavelled the session open and closed. So it's like, okay, well then that means you don't want to talk.
Yeah, and that's just, but I didn't like even go, well, I give up.
I can sympathize with that, though. I give up, because I've seen that, at a lot of places. So it's like, I give up too.
Hey, here's the keys. You guys drive this thing now,
Well, and that's fair, because it's like he came up with a plan, and it was a reasonable plan, even to reopen everything. And then they went and they go to the Supreme Court. You guys got to scrape this down because we didn't have any input, and it doesn't follow the rules, blah, 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 even though people are being saved. It hurts our feelings, and we're all butthurt. And so, but they go and they do that, but they didn't have a plan. I wouldn't have even been that mad if they would have said, okay, as soon as this is struck down, this is the plan that's going into place that the legislature is voting for.
To write the in place instead, right? Well, it's really hard to find out what the things that you should do, because we've got White House directives that say we should be wearing masks when they ask us, and we have our president and vice president not wearing masks when they're being told.
Yeah, but we have to understand where the president and the vice president come from, and they do not come from a place of common sense. So
this is what I don't get. Now it's the Ford one. They're going to ventilators, right? They're going to the ventilator thing. He has a mandate that you have to have, if you can't do social distancing, you have to have a mask. Ford says everyone has to have a mask. All right. He says, what are you going to do when you get there? Well, I don't know yet. What do you mean you don't know yet? It's clear cut. You have a policy. They have a policy. It's like, okay, listen, here I am in town. Hey, I just moved into my new house. I'm going to have the president over. However, it's new carpeting. It's white. Nobody wears shoes in my house. And in fact, the city has actually declared my house a non-shoe house. You can't wear shoes in my house. So they say that to, hey, President, you're coming to see Dave's new house? No shoes in the house. So he gets to my house. There's even a sign, no shoes in my house. He opens the door. Nobody's wearing shoes in my house. He walks in with his shoes on. That's how he is. What do you consider that kind of a person? What would you consider that person in your house? What a fucking what you wearing the fucking shoes in my house? It's just the same thing. You said we should wear a mask. We told you we should wear a mask. You don't get to think about whether you wear one or not. You do modeling. It's called modeling. We all know it better known as lead by example. Your quote's going to see both. Oh. Well, why do you think he wants the churches open? He's losing everybody else. Oh, I can't lose this. I can't lose this. God will take you if he wants you now. Yeah. Well, and then he comes out with the hydrochloroquine, and who Fox and two doctors whispered in his ear about this thing in the first place. He owns money in a company one of his whatever things investments is tied to that. So he's got an interest in there. We can't say that. He now fires another watchdog that's looking after Pompeo. People are like, why do you have to have investigations? I'll tell you exactly why you have to have investigations. Because you have a president saying, I don't know, maybe he was busy on a call with a foreign leader and couldn't get the dishes done because his kids and his wife weren't there. I'm like, oh, that's what your wife and kids are good for. Hey, that's great. Wife and kids are great for cleaning that up. No, but that's why you have, Mr. President, that's why we have an investigation to make sure that that's how it is. That she was only doing the dishes because you were busy and because your wife and kids were gone, which is really what he's. Oh, Oh boy. But I don't know. The last thing I just got on the president was again, many will disagree, but Fox is doing nothing to help Republicans and me get reelected November 3rd. How does a president bitch about a news source not pumping him up to get him reelected? That just tells you right there, they're not a news source. They are not a news source. He's fair and balanced. Fair and balanced for the president. That's who we are. Fair and balanced for the president. Oh my gosh. I couldn't. Well, but I have one last little thing too. I wish we had more to go with Biden, though. I really, I really, the Tara Reid thing's going to go away. She's not a credible witness. That's not going to happen, But again, with his foot and mouth with the black community this lately, again, Biden just, he does that too often. He just, yes. I saw him in a cloud once, man. He's scary. All right. Now I've been ranting this whole time. You got your own little rant there. I know you were talking a little bit about the grocery store, but if people, Karen. Oh, and that's two different shopping kind of like at the same time. Then two separate people. Yeah, I agree with that. In and out. Home Depot. I mean, when I'm at Home Depot, they have everybody's in one door, everybody goes out the other door. All right, and people keep on trying to come in the other door, and they've got the dog there. One of the people ruff, 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 trying to bark the people back out the door. Or can I just come in and do that? No, no. See, you don't get special treatment, my friend. You don't. And I'm like walking. One time it was the lines were like 10 deep, and all of a sudden this guy just comes up and he doesn't see the curve because there's 6 feet between everybody, and he walks right in behind someone 2 feet. And then all of a sudden he looks kind of, you can kind of hear that we're all kind of line, and he kind of looks, oh, is the line way back there? And then somebody like moves, so he moves ahead. Yeah, line's way back there. Oh boy, I didn't know that. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there back there by the lady, like 3 back. Yeah, well, you haven't done anything as a result of knowing it. No, you're still in line. Get to the back of the line, you son of a. No, no, he just
Hey
stayed right in
Dave,
line.
you're
Stayed
gonna
right.
love this. You've been doing a monologue probably for about the last 10 minutes because my mic's been muted.
Ah, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
so
no.
there you go. That's fun. So anyway, what we've been talking about is people are rude in the grocery store.
All
Oh
right,
my
so it's just
goodness.
been a blank. All right.
No,
Hey, and
that's
that's
fine.
why we
No, no,
do
no.
this.
You've been on. You've been on. So you're good.
I'm good. All right. So let's go back to what actually we know all these things, all of our concerts and everything have not been going on every time. We keep on hearing something going canceled. you're going to lose out on stuff. I mean, I haven't seen a band play. I haven't gone to they had a rummage sale finally open in Dodge today, but I don't know that I would have gone. A flea market,
What have you all missed?
Going to the rave, and estate sales. Those are my two things that I really have missed,
Yeah,
snooping at
yeah.
estate sales and going to a concert every once in a while.
Yeah, we had quite a few events planned between March and May, and I think we had 6 different events planned, and they all got canceled. So, and rightly so, because we were talking about canceling them, and just not going anyway. And fortunately for all of those events, we did get our money refunded, so that was nice.
Good.
But yeah, so we have a whole list of things that have been canceled. So the fests and festivals that have been canceled is, of course, the big one is Summerfest. They're saying
Still
that
may go. Still may
they're
go.
saying yeah. They're saying September 3rd through September 19th. I don't know that will happen. Lakefront Festival of Art canceled. Italian Fest canceled. The Lakefront fireworks have been canceled. German Fest canceled. Irish Fest canceled. DNC is going to go virtual, and the State Fair they still have not said whether they're canceling.
Yeah.
What other have you thought of? Because that was my short list.
No, like I said, just and it's every time we hear about something closing down, there's a ripple in something else. All right. I mean, we all know that people are still complaining that the cure has been worse than the disease here because of the secondary levels of things that are happening with child abuse, spousal abuse, maybe alcoholism. The stores are still open, everybody's drinking.
Suicide levels are up.
Suicide being up. I mean, the fact that AA meetings were not around. People needed those meetings. People need AA meetings. Those addicts need those kind of things. Doing it virtually.
Well, even with the church, we were making fun of the church stuff earlier.
Right.
But with the church stuff, there are some people who really rely on their churches for, services and everything else. And I know some of the faith community and other community entities were trying to reach out and make sure, even MPS, making sure people had meals and stuff. It was very difficult. I mean, this was a hardship for a lot of people.
Right. Oh yeah. But even church thing, I mean, when you hear about it, well, there's not going to be any communion. They don't want to pass around flyers. They don't want people singing because, you're going to push out more air, right? Well, what are you going to church for then? They just got to have a pulpit, just like the drive-in movie theater they just came up with. That's how you got to do it for religion, and they got huge parking lots. Guys got to be in the front, and that's how you do it.
Well, and to be fair, local news is they are broadcasting different live sermons and whatnot, and even the Catholic Church. So I mean, there's a lot going on there. So that's good because people can feel like they're connected to their faith that way. But they may not be going to their own church, which I know some people are upset about. But what's more important? You can read the Bible at home. You can experience a service at home and do it safely because we don't want anybody to catch this.
Because wherever 2 or more are gathered, that's all you need. That's what the Bible says. When 2 or more are gathered. All right?
There you go. There you go.
So let's talk about some things that we're opening with that you could do. Right now, they still do have some of those we talk about, which we didn't really hit on, the Tiger King.
Oh, geez. We're not even going to go there. I didn't even watch that. It just looked
Carol Basket.
It looked like trash to me, and I'm sure a lot of people really enjoy that, but that's not my cup of tea.
I'm trying to get my mullet going here, essential up front, non-essential in back, trying to
Oh, were you having first world problems? You couldn't get a haircut?
Not yet. No, I was starting it beforehand, and now I haven't.
Lito's saying hi. Lito.
Yeah. But some of these other things, I mean, if you want to go do something now, even the social distancing is going on at the safari of Lake Geneva, so you can still see buffalo, tatanka, out of your car. You can feed them out of a bucket up out of your car, I guess. So that's down in Geneva. Glacier Ridge is a bison farm. Tatanka again, that's up north. You can do walkthroughs there. The Shalom Wildlife Sanctuary.
That's cool. Shalom is nice.
Right. They are now actually open for the walking and the golf cart rentals. They had a thing with the drive-through before, but now they're actually open. Mequon Nature Preserve, that's open now too. That's got a 40-foot observation tower that you can check out. So that's cool as well. So those are some things that, again, still outdoors, folks. You can do outside. Be respectful. They don't have the infrastructure to clean up all garbage. Please do not. Please, the only thing you leave is footprints.
Pack it in, pack it out.
Right?
Yeah, pack it in, pack it out. Okay, so here's my. We got a frisbee.
Frisbee golf.
No, just frisbee, but you can do frisbee golf too. And then we also have the kayaks.
Oh,
so
sweet.
And tennis.
Oh.
These are not product placement. We get no money for this. And kites. My husband was flying this one yesterday, so if you saw this kite out in New Berlin up in the sky, he was flying it.
I have one, yeah.
Yeah, so and
somewhere.
You know, these are things like the kayaks were probably the most expensive thing we'll be doing, because we actually did purchase the kayaks and we had to get, you know, the things to put on top of the roof of the car. So that was part of what we had to do. But other than that, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things you can do. You can bicycle. We have bicycles. You know, you can throw that on the back of your car. You can, you know, go to a trail. I know Emma Carlin is open. You know, John Muir Trail is open. They've opened Lapham Peak trails up. I think some of the state parks are still at a limited capacity, and there's a few that they're not opening up immediately. But most of them are open. You can go on the Wisconsin website and find out, you know, the DNR website, find out what is open and what is not open. Other than that, I mean, you know, there's grabbing curbside, go do a picnic in the park. There's a lot of things we can do.
Then they actually, you know, the percentage of problems because you're outside with COVID are very low. I mean, it is. It just dropped. That's why the outdoor theater thing, you can tailgate almost. It's, you know, they didn't have, but I'm still paranoid, you know what I mean? I'm still kind of like in this COVID thing, you know, where even when I'm watching TV, when I see a crowd of people together, I'm like, what are you doing? Social distance, you know? And then when I see like the outdoor movie thing and everybody's tailgating, and I'm like, well, you're tailgating. No. But it's like, okay, you're outside and, you know, but still, you know, don't be, you know, sharing your burgers today now as much as you.
Yeah, and then there's other things that are happening that because of the whole virus thing globally, there are effects that are positive. For instance, the use of coal is tumbling.
So Nepal, India, they can see Nepal.
Yes. They can see Mount Everest from Kathmandu is basically what it is. Yeah, the pollution levels have dropped, and they have dolphins in the canals in Venice.
Playing in the canals, yeah. That's hilarious, you know. Yeah, and unexpected things like the pandas at the zoo. They made it for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah, it turns out they don't like having voyeurs around.
I guess that's been a boon for a lot of places. There's a guy that's got ostriches, and because nobody was coming around, the ostriches started laying massive amount of eggs, more than he's ever seen. He's like got too many eggs right now.
Oh,
geez. Sell ostrich eggs, you know?
There you go. The ostrich eggs are big, too. They're like...
Yes. I'd love a hollowed out one. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
They used to sell them in the craft stores.
Yep. Then do the etching, yeah. Oh, the little crafty things that I've been doing, I did take like an old 1929 wooden ironing board, you know, those old wooden ones.
Yeah, and, I used to have one.
Put some labels on it and put some epoxy, the two-step epoxy. So
it doesn't make a good surfboard, just so you know.
Yeah. So I've been playing a little bit with that, just with the in-house do-it-yourselfers. So it's a project. So that's it. Someday I'll have a showing, right, of all my stuff.
Well, I was making masks. That was pretty much my crafty projects. And then this is going to be the summer of getting shit done. And there are some people who are already getting stuff done. If you go online, you'll see a lot of people who started out with a bare backyard and now it's like a garden paradise, or they started out with a crappy room and now it looks like a spa bathroom. So, you know, that's what we've been doing. We're just kind of getting all those, you know, that honey-do list that never quite gets done. That can get done this summer because you don't need to go anywhere else.
Yeah, painting. A lot of people did paint. That's the one, I should have bought stock in paint. If it's another COVID thing, I'm buying stock in paint because everybody painted.
Yeah, it was painting and bread baking, I think, were the two things.
All right, so just a little tease. If we do some stuff I remember, we're going to talk more about Yakon, my Yakon. That was it.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And then the NASA, there was a cool
Dave
thing
has
that
his
talked
thing.
about the NASA worm changing from the emblems too. I ran across. It was kind of fun. So we'll try to remember. By the next time we talk, it'll probably be something different. We won't even talk about that, but at least we'll talk. We'll think we're going to talk about that now.
We'll think we are. Are we
You think
pretending?
we are.
Are we pretending?
All right. Does that sound like we're done? You got anything else?
No, not really. I mean, we could sit there and wax poetic for far longer
Another
than
half hour. Yeah, but we already took an hour of your time. If anybody's still here,
Yeah. If they didn't tune out for that 10 minutes that I was talking and not,
yeah,
audible.
yeah, nobody was gonna be. This is like the hidden track after everything, and so well, the song went out, and then there's really a hidden track
Well,
later.
and we, like we said, we're dusting the cobwebs off. I mean, we have not done a show in over 2 years, and we're gonna so everybody knows, we are gonna try to fire this back up and make it a semi-regular thing. I have some growing pains because I did some stuff with my computer, so I'm not able to access everything I need to access, and plus we're going to try to make it better. So we're always trying to make it better. That doesn't always happen, but kind of like that summer of getting shit done.
But again, I said, folks, you got your money's worth. Whatever you paid for it, that's what we gave you.
That's pretty much it. So I guess you can shake your bells, Dave. I'm gonna say my thing.
Down fryer, here you
Okay,
closing
so
out.
We would like to thank our viewers and listeners.
Knock the cobwebs off COVID.
So we'd like to thank our viewers and listeners, Dave's mom and my neighbor Pat, because I know when she gets the notification, she'll be watching this.
And Marianne, down in East Troy.
Yeah, there you go. And anyone else who stumbles across this, please stay safe. Wear a mask. You're a superhero if you wear a mask. And do what you do. Hang on, I gotta put my glasses on because I can't read half this shit. See, this is how you know it's live and it's real. So if you like what you're hearing, tell two people so they can tell two people, and don't do it social distance so they don't get the COVID. And then we can be internet famous.
People and they tell two people and they tell two people.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Spread us better than COVID. We are spread better than COVID.
We are. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, hip.or.critical. Visit our Facebook page, or you can send me a tweet at Al3xa with a 3_MKE. I know I make it difficult for everybody. And so I think that's pretty much it. Do we have to put our mask back on, Dave? Hang on.
Mask out. Mask in, mask out.
We're doing mask in, mask out. Wait a minute. I got one more.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Peace
out, people.
Is that the de Mortes? Right?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is Dia de los Muertos. It is
Dia de los Mortes.
Yes, it's my nurse neighbor bought this fabric. She said make one for myself out of this, so I did. So,
fantastic. Love it.
All right.
All right.
Peace out,
everybody.
people.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, be good. Bye.
Great things. Bye.